the larger islands without doing the whole set across the side. So that just cuts those out and does it. So I just kept it simple and to avoid that problem, we'll just leave those out. So, but it has nothing, you know, my apologies to anyone here from the Caribbean. It is not meant to be rude or offensive or to cut them out. They have great histories, rich histories, and they deserve to be covered. I've made literally a logistical decision because if I'm grading you guys and you're being forced to identify which specific island is which, I don't have a lot of faith in you, sorry. So,
last year, last like class, not class, but last like semester, they said the reason you just didn't do it is because like it was Thanksgiving. Y'all just give it to us.
no, the reason I didn't do it was the same reason as last time. You know, and you know, GeoGuessr gives you different, you know, options in terms of which ones.
That's what I'm saying. The Terra, they give you a map. That's all. You can
So, but then the also with GeoGuessr, the map for what we have for Oceania is different than how they've done theirs. So anyways, just to keep it simple, because enough people were having problems with the map quizzes, we've kept it at the ones that we've covered. I believe that there's 175 countries, okay? Your final will look a lot like what your quizzes did, okay? You'll be handed a bunch of maps and you gotta fill them in.
Oh, I thought it was all on one. I thought it was all on one. I didn't even tell if it was all on.
How's it all fit on one page?
Come on, y'all.
You'll have a whole class.
A giant poster board. Giant poster board.
So, I will remind you that if you're going to attempt to cheat on it, you need to come up with different ways than they did last semester, but I have figured all those out.
The keto method, bro. Keto
You
method.
got to get Idris.
Wait, you call it
Yeah.
Mongolia. I don't even know how you.
He created weird maps and stuck them up his, why, he had to have more than that, didn't ask where they were all stuck up. So, the ones that I got were coming out of the first thing, so.
Remember how you said? Remember how you said we're gonna get like multiple quizzes on the new book? Like, are you gonna like tell us when we have to read so
Yeah.
many pages by?
Yeah,
All
so as of right now, like, you know, if you're not reading, you know, you should be, okay? You should be hitting, I think it's about a chapter or so. I mean, they're not that, like, some are, they range from 6 pages to 15 pages, okay? If you were actually getting a chapter a day, it's not a crazy amount, okay? Some of the earlier chapters are like a little bit longer, but that's not the end of the world. But I will be putting out an official, like, by this date, you have to have read the year.
Okay.
You can balance, I mean, look, you guys all want to be treated like adults, you guys can figure out how to get from, you know, page A to page B. Right? So I will tell you roughly at what page you should be at, and I will be nice and break out the book into a bunch of smaller quizzes, okay? Other public service announcement is I'll tell you that we have, after today, we will have finished Intro to Islam. We will have finished 3 Islamic caliphates and 2 Chinese dynasties. If I was a betting man, if I was a betting man, and outside of shits and giggles, I only make bets when I know I'm gonna win, I would presume there's probably a pop quiz coming up, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3.
It's like 3 in one day.
The third one is right after the first one.
If I told you when they were, they wouldn't be pop.
Like, what's the third one? Right after.
I get it.
The third one will be first, the second one will be last. and the
That is
fifth
something I would do. See, you got my logic. I appreciate
one. And like, he'll give like the second one during the third one.
it. You totally have got this shit figured out. Now we can just try how to get you to A, like, or even that.
What is this, bro?
Am I water you enough, full bro?
Hey, yo! Really, bro?
What the fuck? That's a bro.
No! Yo,
Yo!
hair water,
like that too.
You need to stop.
Get him.
Water isn't gonna save you. Water is gonna save you.
Just imagine that
So just know.
Teacher accidentally sends half a class to the ER while spraying bleach in their mouths.
That was a funny teacher.
Accidentally sprayed bleach in their mouth and sends them to the ER.
Or sped.
Alright. Louis, tell me about some accomplishments of the Song Dynasty.
Wood block printing.
Wood block printing. Give me another one, darling.
Gunpowder for wood.
Okay, Amadou, how did they weaponize gunpowder? Oh, come on, Amadou, give me an idea. What's gunpowder do?
Ooh.
Blow shit up! So blow shit up! Bombs! Right? What else?
Fireworks. They used to go fireworks.
I said for warfare, dumbass. What else?
Fireballs.
Fireworks.
Maybe fireballs.
You talking about tongue or something?
Excellent answer. Only the person before you could have come up with that.
Didn't Song use it for fireworks? Didn't Song use it for
They definitely saw the firework as.
I feel fireworks like they're not living that shit.
It's like, oh,
Didn't Song use it for fireworks and Song use it for warfare?
Why did you just
Do you remember our example about a grenade?
grenade? I think so.
Were you here for the grenade class?
No, I probably think I left it.
Grenade.
Did we not go through that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
We did.
Oh, okay. Your ignorance is
We
understandable.
went over grenades.
Okay? It's not general stupidity, it's specific stupidity. Okay, so if I take all of Benedict's and put them out on the field here, okay? Okay? And I lob a grenade into the middle, how many people die? We got 600 students, we'll say, roughly.
kind of grenade?
We all got them on the same field here. You guys are all pushed in, okay? How many people died from the grenade?
6.
Hold on. We raise our hands.
There's a 5 plus people in the middle because the shrapnel has to hit them.
They don't stop.
And then there's
Like 10 to 15.
Why?
10 to 15 will die because the initial explosion and then the metal that'll fly out. But it'll injure a lot more people, I think.
Okay, the initial explosion on a grenade, which is greater than a firework, okay? I don't actually know how much is there. Is probably enough to kill one person on direct contact, depending upon how it hits them, okay? Otherwise, they end up with really bad burns. They might lose, a leg or something to a burn. But what actually does kill, you guys are correct, is the shrapnel. Okay, it is not actually the explosion. Okay.
If you put your fast in the
That was really clever. I mean, appreciate it. You could offer up one hip and you could probably save lives. Okay? Dude, that hair could probably put that shit out. Anyway, so it is, with the grenade, it is the shrapnel. Okay, you know how it has that sort of pocketed honeycomb look to it?
Yeah.
Right? All of those pieces shoot out in separate directions, and they become like bullets. For what? No.
No, but fuck, I'm just saying, right? I get the grenade example, but if you're standing perfectly still and I shoot a fucking firework at you, like in your chest, I think you'll explode.
No, you won't.
You won't explode.
I mean,
Like,
you'll have.
what's your standard firework you get? Like an M80 or something like that?
To be honest, if you understand the way
I remember this, my dad told me this a while ago.
Hold on, what?
My dad told me this a while ago because he's like, don't be a dumbass. So an NFL player lost 2 fingers by shooting himself with a firework.
Yeah.
But he only lost 2 fingers.
There you go.
So it does, but he really
Yeah.
close to his
Like,
head.
I mean, you pull it up.
Are you so serious?
Wait, guys, if I shot this at fucking thoughts, he's not living this shit. I don't care what y'all say. Oh, it won't hurt. It'll just bounce off. He's not hurt. He's not living this shit.
He's not living that shit. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. I plead my case, man.
You missed the moral of the story. That's me. That's you.
No, bro, no. Because I would definitely have you lined up, my nigga. You standing there.
And then before you know it, like Wile E. Coyote, your ass would be tied up.
Adrian, you see how I rest my case, my nigga?
Yes, I rest my case, my nigga.
Dude, you're fried.
Anyways, so with a lot of incendiary devices, you know, they can do harm. Yeah, there is possibility that depending upon the size of them, for sure. But in most cases, it's shrapnel, it's other aspects of them that, you know, cause people to die.
Of all things,
So-
wouldn't it impale you?
Yeah.
That's it,
Like how
yeah.
fast
Yeah.
it's going?
Yeah, when you
Well,
like
that-
shoot through you.
Yes.
You
That-
would be
well, I
impaled
mean,
by it.
but this becomes a bullet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying he's
You
like.
don't know what you're trying to say.
And
I
then,
know what I'm saying.
Wait,
Alright, bro.
what
Um,
are
I
you
told
the
you
song?
exactly what I was trying to say, and I have an image.
They're on the slides of it, like someone
If I
they
use
use
First of all,
it's
gun
really
powder.
fast.
Can you
Blow
explain
shit
where
up.
we actually buy them
the
besides
civil
that?
service exam.
Yes.
When have we ever
People
actually,
rock
realistically, not in
What
our
about the tongue?
fantasy worlds that we like to live by rewatching childhood cartoons at the age of 16,
So for
okay? I mean, I
agricultural
get it, like,
maintenance.
you know, you don't have much pull,
Go
you're
back
looking
for
for whatever
fireworks.
you got, and so you go back and watch childhood cartoons to relive the good old days, because it's just gone downhill since then.
damn.
You know? But I'm here,
Listen, he's not wrong on that.
I'm here to lift you back up. Come on, we got this. We got this.
Hell no.
Okay? You will not end up there, Wile E. Coyote. You can do this
If you're
shit.
standing still, Fox,
You
and
can
I
do
shoot
this.
any.
What is that?
Look
Hey,
at the
look.
firework.
Wait,
Look at
hold
the
on.
firework.
Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel the mad aura?
Look up a video of
Bask in the glow. You got this. You got this.
oh my god.
I'm telling you, bro. Any shot, any firework, any type of firework.
You sir?
Holy fucking firework.
Hmm?
Why does bro pull up a unit?
Do you have a note?
The song is Gunpowder.
Anyways.
Why the hell did you just look up a human?
Wait.
Oh, he's trying.
Oh, he's, so I was gonna say like, what the fuck?
I was like, okay, yeah, okay.
Alright, what else did the Song Dynasty do?
The music.
The civil service exam,
Civil service exam. What was the benefit of it?
it allowed them to like find the best people to work for the bureaucracy.
Sure, Zeke, what else do we get out of the civil service exam? Gonna start picking us up. Or come see me. Oh, I can't hear you snapping your fingers, DMR, after I called on Ezekiel. Hey, don't hurt yourself. Go ahead.
It allowed the Chinese government to keep track of the smallest individuals.
Okay.
Control.
What else?
It also
It
allowed.
wasn't really about control, but go ahead.
It was also like an opportunity to get out of poverty or a certain, you know, like.
One of the unintended consequences was it provided an opportunity to escape the Chinese feudal system at the time. Okay? So we've talked about feudalism, okay? We've talked about feudalism in almost all the countries across the world that we've looked at. The civil service examination gave even the lowest level peasant an opportunity to escape that lot in life and upgrade their status.
How much was the fee? You said there was a fee to like take the test.
Yeah, I mean, there was something, but I don't remember how much. Like, you couldn't just randomly take it, you just have to pay.
Like was it a lot, or
It was enough that it was beyond the means of the average individual.
okay.
So, like I said before, you would have some areas where they had a smart kid in the village, and the entire
They
village
all.
would pull together to get them to pay.
You said they still do that today.
Are we still on this
That's what Fox is gonna look like. No, wait. This one in particular. This one.
gosh.
Watch it. Look up a video of a guy getting hit by a firework.
I swear, like,
He ate it. You also didn't pay fireworks.
Adrian, give it up, bro.
Look,
Nigga ate it.
like, nigga.
there's Adrian. Can you sing it for us? Come on.
No, I'm not saying.
Come on, you got this.
Extra
Extra credit, extra credit.
Extra credit, come on.
Bullshit, me.
30 extra dance for me, come on.
No bullshit. Me.
How much extra credit?
How much extra credit? How much?
Bullshit. He'll give you like extra credit in some fucking like some bullshit ass like category.
Extra
I'll put it-
credit,
I'll put
extra
it in,
credit,
like,
bro.
In like participation.
Why are you on? Hey.
No.
Dude, this is like right up your alley and how you
Andrew's
dance.
literally singing it. Let Andrew sing it.
music from Madagascar.
Yeah.
Yes. Madagascar came after us.
Alright. DJ Jazzy Jeff, can you sit down?
Bob Marley.
Alright,
What the
that
hell?
was civil service examination. So where's it used today? Okay, so civil service examination, we have variations of it all over the place. You guys
I see.
take the SATs. Okay? If you wanted.
Bro.
Yo, put rush hour on, put rush hour on.
Rush hour.
Play real for y'all, rap, rush hour entirely. Alright.
So, if you wanted to join what's called the Foreign Service, Foreign Service is a group in the State Department, okay? And they are the people who man and run our women embassies. They do research on foreign countries. They help out with non-classified spy work, that kind of jazz. If you wanted to join the Foreign Service, you actually have to write the Foreign Service examination. Exact same idea. China still has high stakes national testing to get into college. Our good friend Josh was talking about the A-levels in London. So these exist all over the place, okay? In New York State, you would have to take the Regents, right? To be able to do it. In Asia, this high-level, high-stakes testing is so common that basically once you hit 3rd or 4th grade, you do tutors after school for the next 8 years until you actually take them. So you go to school for the full day, you get done at 3 or 4, you get maybe an hour off, and then you go to your tutors until 9 or 10 at night.
So like
And then on the weekends, you're in school for like 8 hours a day, all through tutors, right? Because it's all designed so that by the time that you write these, you get into a good college. Every single college placement, university placement in China is determined by these high stakes testing.
Is Alex Vox prepared for high stakes testing?
You can ask Mr. John.
Oh,
about it. Like,
Mr. Jong definitely took that.
It's some pretty crazy hardcore shit, because it determines exactly what college you get into.
Mr. Zhang definitely passed that within 90
Okay?
years.
Oh, cultural note. The only place in the world that uses college and university interchangeably is the US. In fact, we use college more often.
What's the difference?
What's the university?
In anywhere else in the world, a university is a 4-year degree, a college would be a technical school.
Oh, like vocational school.
So, yeah, so don't leave this country and tell them that you're going to college, because they'll think you're stupid. No, like, I mean, if you're on an academic path, like, they won't think that you're, like, they'll think that you're at a trade school,
Okay.
and that you couldn't get into a university,
Oh,
okay? No, I'm not making jokes about trade schools. Trade schools are awesome, and actually they're a great way to, depending upon the profession, to make some coin pretty quickly.
Yeah, you make real bank.
You make real bank, and like you get an extra 4 years of that. You get licensed as a plumber, an electrician, you know, even auto mechanic, and you know your job well. You'll be laughing at a lot of the guys who go to college. But at the same time,
It's only 2 years.
but it is not academic, right?
Yeah.
It's because
It's
a lot
just
of
based on that specific thing, so you only learn that.
well, you only learn that, and you also have a journeyman or an apprenticeship that you often have to do. So you normally have to apprentice. So it's a great model, great money, but it's not an academic one in the sense of you're trying to get a 4-year degree. So my point though is that if you travel to another country and you're looking at college, you want to say university. Okay. Anyways, so coming back to it, we talked about the tribute system. We talked about the civil service one. Let's talk about the tribute system. Tribute. Did we cover that yesterday?
No.
We left off at the
Civil service?
civil service, yeah, the civil service stuff.
And your
Exam.
time is limited.
Why is it limited? What?
Limited,
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
schedule was like,
this isn't long.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 11.
So, what do those two characters mean? These characters right here.
Yo, why is
Mr. Zhang.
Mr. Jong.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Either among them, yeah.
Jong
Wait, what
Get out.
the?
Zhonghua.
Jong Wall.
I was like Alexander.
Zhonghua means China.
That was like Google.
Don't love.
What?
Yeah.
Why is China not eat China?
So why we say China then? What's the point?
Exactly. What's the
Why
point?
do we call things outside of the name that someone else has for you?
Because we're a bunch of arrogant ass motherfuckers who have determined to call things whatever we want.
That's crazy.
No, that is the reason.
Forget what country we
Oh,
live
hey,
in.
hold on. What's that body of water below the southern states?
Oh yes, it's
The Gulf of Trump.
The Gulf of
Oh, no, but like, it makes my point, I don't care what you think about the issue, this whole Gulf of Mexico versus Gulf of America. It's whatever the fuck you wanna call it, and the winner gets to determine it,
Yes, that's actually.
okay?
That is definitely Mr.
Looks
Fox.
like Adrian's taking a dump.
What is it? I was gonna say that is most
This
definitely.
would be wearing cowboy boots. Smoking a blunt, taking a dump in his cowboy boots. Alright, but, Tim Sim 69, like, that is literally what it's about, right? You can call things whatever you want, and you don't have to, Turkey just changed their name back to Turkey, okay? For the longest time, we have been calling Mumbai, Bombay.
That's crazy.
What? Well, like,
It's
that's so
Bombay.
confusing. Is that not confusing? It's not like anybody else who calls it what it is.
If you bomb the shit out of them enough, they will sit there and allow you to call it whatever you want. Okay? So, Zhongguo means China, okay? It also translates directly, this is the character for country, Guo, and this is the character for middle. So, China is the middle country.
What?
Ah, good question, anybody know?
It's not Asia.
It's not Asia, it's.
Anybody have an idea?
I guess I would assume at least they think the middle of the earth, because like.
It is.
Yeah, that was.
It's 100% the middle of Earth. Why? Nope. China viewed itself as the center of the planet.
No, we do the same thing.
We do the same thing? Have you ever looked at a map that you buy here?
Oh,
What country is in the middle?
US.
The US.
What the fuck?
Okay? If you buy a map from anywhere else in the world,
China is.
China will be in the middle. If you buy one, you get some cool ones in the southern hemisphere. So like if you bought like say a Nigeria made a map, where Nigeria is placed in the middle, it'll completely fuck with your brain because you're now looking at things. Also, here's another random point actually about flat maps. Our world is what? Round. So, in order to get a flat map, you have to distort the countries.
Yeah.
In particular, what often ends up happening is the countries up north around the polar cap and the southern cap are distorted and made to look small. So Antarctica, if we had a map somewhere, looks like this little thing here,
But it's.
and yet it's bigger than everything else out there. Okay? Same with Canada. Okay? If you look at a US based map and you go from, say, New York City to Toronto, it looks like Toronto is almost due north of New York City. The reality of it is that it's like this. And so as a result, okay, from Toronto, you can get to Boston, New York City, Washington DC, and Chicago all within about 8.5 to 10 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
They're about a 45-minute difference between Boston, which is the farthest away.
How is
And-
Boston farther than? Wait.
Yeah, so see, figure that one out.
Wait. Illinois.
Because Toronto's over here, Boston's over there. Chicago's over here, DC's here, New York's here.
What the hell?
This Canadian.
That is how
I'm gonna look it up, boss.
So Tim, when I first moved to Canada, I said the exact same thing. I was like, this is actually impossible. Like, it fucked with every sense of like geography that I had. Okay? Anyway, let me finish this, and if I have time, I'll pull it out. Okay?
Oh my God.
Show some respect.
He went for my face.
Bro,
He went for my face.
But you weren't glasses. Face doesn't cost anything, glasses do. My rule in this class is you don't fuck with people's computers, and you don't fuck with glasses, because they're expensive. Okay? Even if you get a cheap computer, you're still pulling out 2 to 3 bills. Okay? A cheap pair of glasses, you're still pulling out 2 to 3 bills. And they can both go well above 1,000. Okay? We all have enough other issues. We don't need to deal with parents or guardians on dumbass shit.
Who got smacked?
Okay?
Oh my god.
Anyway,
This is a $300 bet.
so China believed themselves to be the center of the world, and they made everybody acknowledge it. Okay? So if you were in the countries around them, okay, you had to pay tribute to the Chinese emperor every year.
How much?
Ah. So, you would bring some of the most expensive stuff that you had from your country. But it went further than that. Okay? You would go meet the emperor, and you would be required to kowtow.
Who's you?
Yo,
and
someone show him how
everyone?
to kowtow.
Those who were in the presence would all kowtow to the Chinese emperor.
Like people of power from
Where
those
is Alex
countries?
when you need him?
So, I think our best one was Yora.
Me.
Joey, come on, show us the kowtow. I'm the emperor. Actually, we had a really good one for him.
You gotta go on your knees, bro. You ain't gotta like go like this. You gotta go like this, bro. Yeah, kiss the boy. Yeah.
So take a picture of that. He's battling now to Fox right now.
Hold up, you gotta go slow.
On his hands and knees.
Why the fuck look like that?
Alright.
Okay, bro.
So, I mean, that is essentially what it's
Hands
referred
and
to.
knees for your brothers and
That would be a kowtow. So, I mean, if you think about it, right, a simple bow, we can always maintain an equality. We can look at each other. You want to see one of the funniest battles of all times? Japanese, to continue to show respect for each other, will keep bowing lower. Right? And so, like, you get into this battle of 70-year-olds, you're like, dude, my back's already feeling sore. Like, I don't know if you can go any lower. And you watch these guys keep going lower until someone lets the other person win. Okay? But with a kowtow, you are fully submitting. You are fully acknowledging that this person is of a higher rank than you. It's the equivalent of, in the West, kissing the ring. Right? You see it all the times in the movies. You met the king, you had to kiss the ring. Okay? It's to show your subservience to them. And so, you will hear this word kowtow even today, which is why I believe it's one of your vocab words this week. Okay?
You assigned okay?
So kowtow means if you kowtowed before them, it means that you submitted in some fashion. Okay? Yeah, they made you your bitch. Okay?
So wait, so
What?
who would go from each country? Like, would it be?
It'd be a trade delegation. You'd, it wouldn't be like the ruler, because you would never send the ruler because they could get kidnapped or killed or something else.
So it'd be one person
No,
representing.
you'd always send a delegation.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it works the same way today when, the ambassador goes and visits the head of state of another country.
Okay.
They always have people with them. And they would also refer to the Chinese emperor as the son of heaven.
That's the way. Apparently, it's because they want like any like head of the thing, so that like be chosen by God.
Sure. I mean, the recognition as the son of heaven certainly bestows that divine legitimacy.
Fuck just happened.
That divine legitimacy that every ruler seeks. Okay? I mean, in the West, we have the Holy Roman Emperor. They made a deal with the Catholic Church to get the legitimacy. In the Islamic world, Islam and the Caliph were intertwined that in such a way that the next Caliph naturally had that divinely chosen right in some fashion. It was just recognized. Because the problem is that if you don't recognize that your authority comes from a higher power, well then anybody else can lay claim to your authority if they're stronger than you. That is exactly why they all claimed divine authority. So the Chinese were no different, and they implemented these aspects too. We did talk about how the Tang Dynasty elevated the role of Confucianism.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Okay?
Not me.
You got no idea.
Yeah, I have no clue.
But I appreciate your affirmation. We gotta get to the point where you do have a clue on this stuff. Okay? And I'm willing, you gotta come see me to figure it out. Thank you. And whatever, except for today. Okay? So, on I will briefly go over it, Elijah, but essentially that Buddhism did not have some of the same aspects of moral codes that Judaism, Christianity, and Islam have. In particular aspects like, say the Ten Commandments or whatever have you. Confucianism did, so even though it wasn't a religion, it was an orderly way of life to tell people how to be good citizens that put the emperor at the top of the pecking order, okay? And so the Tang emperors actually encouraged the practice of Confucianism. And this is how in China, Confucianism ends up becoming religious life, even though it's a philosophy. It's complicated, I get it, but historically, while you might have your personal faith and beliefs, religion has just as much to do with politics and history as anything else does. It's a factor. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. Okay? And that doesn't change anything today, but it does have a role. And not everything was made for good reasons. Okay? Okay, got all of that. We talked about, okay, so finally, the Song Dynasty falls in 1279 CE. 1279,
By the Mongols, right?
the Song Dynasty falls. It falls by the Mongols. Which Mongol? No, I'm wrong.
Kublai Khan.
Yeah.
Kublai. Kublai Khan, who is the grandson of Genghis Khan. See, this is what happens when he doesn't have a good comeback anymore and he feels left out, so he falls asleep. Oh hey, welcome back. How are you?
What's the great symbol?
Kublai.
How you spell it? Right there.
Actually, Timu's brother is Temujin, and Temujin is the actual real name of Genghis Khan.
Actually, yeah, no, he's huge.
So there's Temujin and Timu. Alright, anyways, so note the year, okay? So in 1279, China falls, the Song Dynasty falls to the Mongols. The Mongols changed the name to the Yuan Dynasty. You're definitely not Yuan. Okay? Changed the name to the Yuan Dynasty. What year did the Abbasid Caliphate fall?
Somewhere around there, it was like 12.
1279.
1259.
1250.
1258.
Which one?
1252, like 1258.
1259.
I think it is 59, is that right?
So,
Okay, it's the late 1250s, okay? So, notice that Baghdad, the capital of the Abbasids, falls, okay, about 20 years before the Chinese fall. So, by the time that the Mongols actually decide to take China, they had already made their way to Europe. They made their way out to Poland and Germany and Hungary before they stopped and turned around. So the last area that they actually took was the Song Dynasty. And at this point then, the Mongols ruled essentially from Japan to Europe. We'll talk about that next. Okay?
How'd they get so
What's that?
like how they conquer mad people like that?
How?
Yeah.
Through innovative,
Like what they have. They have like horses.
yes, they did.
It's like blew shit up.
By this point here, they basically ruled, they were never able to successfully take Japan, but on the opposite side of Japan, all the way over to almost Germany. So if you looked at our map, actually, I think I have it up here. So, here's Japan, here are the Koreas, up here's Russia, China. They ruled all the way over, and as we get over here, here's Poland, here's the Ukraine, okay? Siberia's up there.
Wait, why is it small?
Wait, is that an ancient thing?
It's a dated picture of some kind.
I'm gonna say, cause,
The great what? Ahmed?
Connie.
Is that like China?
So Connie, nope, a Connie becomes the same word as a caliphate. Khan means ruler. K-H-A-N.
That was in the vocab.
Yes, it was.
Did they expand like to the left or to the right? I mean,
Where?
South America.
No,
Never.
never made it up to the land bridge, which is over here.
No one told me that.
Wait, that's China.
What is?
Great,
The Great Khanate would be today's China. Beijing is here. Once you get up to here, you're in Mongolia, and once you get up to here, you're in Russia. Mongolia is only about that big,
Mongolia's not.
and that would be Russia.
Siberia was.
As you come over to here, you'll eventually hit all the stans. Okay, all of this up here would be Russia.
So Siberia was Russia?
Siberia is Russia. Russia didn't really exist then, so it's hard to say it was. Okay. Now, interestingly, if you notice on the map, you notice how they didn't come much, have any luck down here? Anybody know why?
India.
Oh.
Since 69
What's that?
I was there and I stopped them.
Ignore any information. Any idea why they couldn't take on the rest of Southeast Asia?
The street food.
Yeah, mountains and the climate. You can't do horse warfare there.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, cause it's all. Wait, Mount Everest right there.
Well, no, Mount Everest is yeah, it's right here. Okay, so that would have been a natural block as well. But you can actually cut down through there, which they did.
Did you go to Mount Everest?
I have, yeah.
Is it go on top?
Yes,
No, I haven't climbed to the top of Everest.
that's actually, that's so debatable.
You gotta do something special.
That'd be crazy.
Not even necessarily in a good
Have you
way.
been skydiving?
I have not. I've almost gone like a dozen times, and for a variety of reasons, it just hasn't happened. And if anybody wants to go, I do in a heartbeat.
Let's go.
Field trip.
So,
Just
I was trying really hard to do a spring phase project where you can learn to scuba dive.
I just wondering that you like curious.
How would you teach that?
It's easy.
Well, scuba dive.
Your final exam.
Like,
You can get certified. It's super easy.
you can get certified in scuba diving?
My younger son Nate got it when he was like 9. It's not that hard.
I'm scuba dive certified. Like, I'm
Where would you
like
take them?
putting that on your high school.
What?
Where would you take them to scuba dive?
We would just spend spring phase down the shore.
At like this.
Right? Like, wouldn't that be fun?
You should do that next year.
I gotta see if I can make it work. You're limited by budget and some other stuff.
How much, what's your budget?
Not much.
Not much.
So I have to find like people who'd be willing to
He
donate shit.
forgot, he has to fund the wild, the whack, and the Cheerios, so he spends more money
Oh,
on
and the
that
new senior
and,
thing.
like,
So-
give us quality food.
But it did cross my mind because I was like, shit, I'll teach a spring phase class. I'll bring everyone down to the beach every day and we'll just hang out. Yeah, that'd be a ton of fun.
And then,
So instead we're doing, spies.
Who you doing it with? Gallo?
No, that's what.
Oh, isn't Gallerati with Dr. Shang?
Yes.
Learn how to sell it.
So tell me that now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alright, get forgiven.
Alright. Bro, imagine being in a class with Dr. Shang and Mr.